Most of what we experience as reality is just isolated events. A bad day, a late delivery, a spike in traffic, a sudden drop in performance. But individual events don't tell the whole story. The real structure of the world only appears when we step back and look at patterns. Human beings are natural pattern detectors. Our ancestors survived by recognizing faces, tracking movement, and interpreting signals in their environment. But that ability evolved for small, simple contexts, not complex systems filled with noise, uncertainty, and massive amounts of data. And so, when things get complicated, our instincts start to fail us. We see patterns that aren't real. We overreact to small samples. We mistake coincidence for causality. Our intuition is powerful, but it is not designed for statistical thinking. So we built tools to extend it. Writing extended our memory, mathematics extended our ability to calculate, and statistics extend something even more fundamental, our ability to detect patterns in variation. At its core, statistics does something simple but profound. It aggregates observations and extracts patterns from them. A single observation is noisy and incomplete. One measurement, one outcome, one data point. It tells you almost nothing. But when you collect many observations, something changes. Random variation begins to cancel out. An underlying structure starts to emerge. Statistics helps us separate signal from noise. And once you see that clearly, you begin to notice something deeper. This works because the world itself is structured in systems. A system is anything that produces consistent patterns over time. Even though individual outcomes vary, the variation follows a recognizable structure. You can see this everywhere. Take the human body. Your temperature fluctuates constantly, but stays within a stable range. That pattern reveals a system regulating itself. In manufacturing, no two parts are identical, but measure enough of them and a distribution appears. That distribution tells you how the system is performing. Even your daily commute behaves like a system. Each day varies, but over time a pattern emerges. That pattern reflects the structure of traffic, roads, and human behavior. One observation tells you almost nothing. Many observations reveal the system. When many small influences combine, outcomes tend to cluster around a center. Extreme outcomes are rare, and moderate ones are common. This is why patterns, like the bell curve, appear so often in nature. W. Edwards Deming called this common cause variation. Most outcomes are not driven by isolated events, but by the system itself. The variation is not noise in the sense of meaninglessness. It is the signature of the system. And this leads to a powerful shift in thinking. Systems thinking tells us that outcomes come from systems. Statistics allows us to see those systems through their outputs. One explains the structure, the other reveals it. When you combine them, your perception changes. You stop reacting to isolated events and start seeing patterns. You stop blaming individuals and start examining systems. A bad day becomes one point in a distribution. A spike becomes part of variation. The world shifts from disconnected events to interconnected processes. This is a cognitive upgrade. Your brain already works this way. It constantly builds models from repeated signals and updates them when reality changes. Statistics simply formalizes that process and makes it reliable at scale. Modern AI works the same way. It doesn't understand each individual event. It learns patterns across massive data sets. It aggregates information to infer structure. The same principle runs through everything. The world produces patterns. The mind detects them. Statistics refines that detection. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. What looked like chaos becomes structured variation. What looked like isolated events becomes the behavior of systems. Statistics doesn't just analyze reality, it augments your perception of it.